Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 4. So as you would have noticed over the past handful of videos of mine, you would have seen me go over some set photos and some other photos as well that necessarily weren't taken on set in relation to the first episode of Season 4 of The Flash. And even though I did say I would be doing an Arrow video next, in my last video, that has unfortunately fallen by the wayside, I guess, for now, as they haven't really shown anything in regards to their first episode of Season 6. But that does mean we can go over some more Flash Season 4 stuff, and oh boy, do we have a doozy video to go through today. And just quickly on the Arrow stuff, I will do a video on episode 1 as soon as we get some stuff on it released. I know there's some stuff about Deathstroke, which I will just include in that next Arrow video when we get some stuff from set and all that good stuff. So yeah, just be patient please. Now obviously, as you can tell by the title, we will be going over some more photos taken from the set of The Flash Season 4. Now I did say these were from episode 1 earlier, and I'm pretty sure they are, but there is a small possibility they are from episode 2, but I'm pretty damn confident they are still from episode 1. Spoiler warning of course for what we will go over, but I will give another huge spoiler warning later on in the video after I go over the first stuff that I want to go over, when we go over one photo in particular later on. So be sure to be listening out for that bigger spoiler warning later on, because yeah, some people might not want to see it, so just be listening out. All of these photos were taken over the past day or so of filming, just to let you know that these scenes will most likely be directly connected, and all the sources for these photos will be linked in the description down below as per usual. So the first set of these photos that we are going to go over are of Joe West, hunting down a metahuman by the looks of it. Joe is looking pretty suave, I guess you could say, in his suit and shades, but the thing that I think is pretty cool to see is the weapon that he is holding, which is actually the boot, or the B.O.O.T, which you can also see inscribed on the side of it right here. The reason I think that this is pretty cool to see back is simply due to the fact that, I'm pretty sure at least, we didn't see it show up at all at any point in Season 3. If I am wrong on that, please let me know in the comment section down below, but I'm pretty confident that it didn't, and if it did, it must have been one episode and just a quick scene, because I cannot remember it at all in Season 3. Back in Season 2, however, where it was first introduced, it showed up a decent amount of times and was used on various people in those appearances by various other people. For example, Joe used it on 2 different occasions, firstly when taking on Atom Smasher in the first episode of Season 2, and he then used it again later in the season protecting Wally from one of the metahumans that Zoom had brought over from Earth 2 when Wally was trying to be a hero himself and try and take down these metahumans without any powers himself. Caitlin used this boot weapon on Geomancer, who was about to kill Iris during the Earth 2 Journey episodes. He was the guy that could, create earthquakes and stuff like that, and I think he grabbed Iris's head or something, so he was going to turn her brain into jelly, I guess. Patty Spivot actually used it on Barry Allen, or the Flash, so that he wouldn't be able to interfere or intervene with her plans to kill the Weather Wizard, who had killed her father, obviously, we'd learned earlier in the season. But luckily Barry was able to use his words and talk her out of it. And then both Barry Allen or Harry, or Earth 2 Harrison Wells, used it on Zoom at different points towards the end of Season 2. The boot was actually made by Cisco for the anti-metahuman task force of the Central City Police Department to help them with the whole taking down of metahumans. So this could hint at that task force actually being back in Season 4. And this could be to help Team Flash with protecting Central City, as they will be, in episode 1 at least, down a pretty experienced member in the form of Barry. The producers or the showrunners have said there will be a new cause for metahumans in Season 4, whether that be that storm we saw at the end of Season 3, or some other creation method. Either way, the metahuman population in Central City may require the task force back into the spotlight to deal with that, and also help out Team Flash. We will be getting a returning character from Season 1 though, even though she technically appeared throughout Season 2, but I will explain that, when relevant later on. And that is the villain known as Peekaboo, who is the one that can teleport, who does appear to be Joe's target. As we can see here, this is Peekaboo. In the background you can see there's fence, which is the same style that we see behind Joe right here, as he points the boot towards who I think we should all know now is Peekaboo. Now this could be a cameo for Peekaboo, she might be in the episode for literally one scene, or she could be in the episode for a decent amount of it, we don't know. But I guess we would just have to wait and see in regards to that. One question I did see a few people asking in reply to this photo right here with Cisco, Wally, and Peekaboo is the possibility that Peekaboo could in fact be helping our heroes with issues around Central City, or just this issue in particular. Or she might have info on like a big group of metahumans that the team is hunting down, something along those lines. It is hard to tell whether she is doing this or not. She isn't like wearing handcuffs in this picture at least when standing near Wally and Cisco. Like, we don't know if they're filming at this stage or they're just chilling out waiting for another scene to start shooting. It's unclear. But I guess we will have to wait and see. But do let me know what you think about all of that in the comment section down below. Now, obviously, before I did allude to the fact that Peekaboo did technically appear in Season 2, and that was because she last appeared on like our screens on like the TV show The Flash in Season 1. But throughout Season 2, they had this like series on Twitter and Facebook, I think it was, which was called The Chronicles of Cisco. Throughout Season 1, it was just like a Tumblr page, and it was like just posts as if it was Cisco typing them out. But then they actually started to make like a mini series online. You should still be able to find them online if you just type in like Chronicles of Cisco video, I guess. But essentially this mini series was like, it must have been like Cisco in between one of the episodes, and Peekaboo escapes from her cell in Star Labs and causes mayhem, well not mayhem, but just gives Cisco a bit of a headache in Star Labs, and he has to stop her. And this was before Cisco had his vibe powers, so he's doing this just as like a normal dude. So you can look them up if you want. It's not the most amazing thing, like you have to watch it, but you know, it's extra Flash content that you might not have seen earlier, so feel free to look it up. And if you have found it, feel free to link it in the comment section down below, and I'll pin the comment or something if you do find it. And now here is the point of the video in which I give you the big, mega, grand, huge spoiler warning for what I'm about to show. Some of you might have already seen this on social media, so if you have Twitter and you just follow general Flash stuff, I guess you might have already seen it, or if you go on the Reddit, you might have already seen this. But please, no one can complain after this moment if you get angry, because I've given you the warning. This is the last time. Spoilers. If you don't want to see anything that might get you angry, click off the video now. Okay, here we go. As you can see here, right now, this is Wally West, played by Kenan Lonsdale, in Barry's suit. This isn't a new Flash suit with Wally inside. This is, Wally West actually in Barry's suit. Like, he's just taken it off and gone, hey, I'm going for a run. Now, as I've said in previous videos, the scenes that Wally is Kid Flash, like in those previous videos and those behind the scenes set photos, they do seem to be flashbacks to events between the end of Season 3 and the beginning of present day events of Season 4. Because on like the bus sign, we've seen like dates that don't match up to when we should be picking up in Season 4. So they do seem to be flashbacks. So what does seem to be going down in episode 1 of Season 4 is that we will be, opening up with a recap with flashbacks from the end of Season 3, see what happened in Central City leading up to the present day of Season 4, where we will first see Wally in the red suit of Barry's. For why Wally would feel the need to don the red suit and not stay in the yellow suit will be interesting to watch and find out why. If I had to make a guess why he's doing it, I think it could have something to do with like Central City needing a sign for hope. Like they would notice if the Flash wasn't running around, like that red streak. If they noticed he wasn't there, then like the city could get a bit worried, and even like, the media and stuff could be reporting that the Flash is gone. We've only got Kid Flash running around now, and maybe Kid Flash isn't as trusted as the Flash is. But that's just my like early interpretation of like why Wally would need to put on the suit. But let me know what you are thinking in the comments section down below. There could be a complete other reason. Maybe a villain demands the Flash is present and he'll release someone, so Wally rocks up in the red suit. Who knows why he's there, but it will be interesting to find out, as I said. Now, one thing I think would be really cool is I think we all know that Barry's going to return by the end of the episode. It could be the last scene, it could be the last 5 minutes, and then we get like some conversation between Barry and the rest of Team Flash, and he could be explaining what's happening. But he's definitely going to show up in that last, possibly like 10 to 5 minutes, or possibly just the last 30 seconds, who knows. But one thing I would like to see is if Barry came out of the Speed Force with no suit, or he could have a new Speed Force suit, like that 2024 suit, who knows what he would come out in. But it would be pretty funny, I guess, and I guess a cool moment as well, if he saw Wally just standing there in his red suit and he just made a funny remark or something along those lines. Maybe that's just me thinking too ahead and just wanting something that definitely won't happen, but we need some comedy in the show. It can't all be doom and gloom as it has been for, some moments, especially with Barry. He doesn't necessarily have that much of a laugh nowadays. He's definitely in the glums. There's too many people around him dying. That sort of needs to just calm down a bit. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, it would be awesome if you could leave a like on it just to show your support. Let me know in the comments section down below what you're thinking of all of this. Do you think Peekaboo is actually, going to be a villain, or do you think she might help out Cisco and Wally in their certain situation? Just let me know. And of course, let me know what you're thinking about the Wally stuff if you did stick around. Because, yeah, I was not expecting to see that. Like, I didn't think they would film in public with Wally in the red suit, because it's obviously going to hit the internet. So I thought they might have tried to keep that contained. But obviously they were like, we don't give a crap. This actually might, make people watch, even though some people seem really hesitant about Wally even taking the mantle of the Flash, even if it's just for like 1 second. So I don't know, I have to see what the reaction to it is, and I guess there will be reactions in the comments section of this video. But yeah, just let me know all of that down there. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.